Good morning and welcome to this morning's devotional. Have you ever had a moment or an experience that you tried to explain to someone and you used all the words that you could to be able to share with them that moment that you felt and experienced, but you found that the words sort of fell short of that experience, and you sort of conclude with, man, you just had to have been there to see that? I imagine that is exactly what the Transfiguration was like for the disciples. So when we look at this moment, this very interesting moment in Scripture, we see it through the lens of the disciples, specifically Peter, James, and John. And we see three things that kind of happen in this moment, where the disciples get a glimpse, where they see Jesus's greatness, and last but not least, they then see him walk towards Calvary. So let's talk about that first one, where they get a glimpse. In that moment where Jesus, it says he shines bright and white as though it was the brightest, white that anybody could ever see. That there was something about the appearance of Jesus that was so mesmerizing and so great that I love how the authors just try to put meat on the bone of that experience to try to share with you exactly what it would look like. And they couldn't really put all the words together, but they knew it was a remarkable moment. And that was a moment where they got to see a glimpse of the glory of the Son of God. And in that moment, they experienced Jesus for his awe and majesty of who he truly was. But next is that they see that moment where they see his greatness, because Elijah and Moses were there. And if you don't know, Elijah and Moses represent the law and the prophets. And so in that moment where Jesus is there talking with them, it's this moment where Jesus is superseding their greatness. And so through all of Jewish history, Elijah and Moses were seen through the lens of the Jewish people as being, the most important authoritative figures. But now that Jesus is here, shining in all of his glory, he is superseding them to say, although they are great, I am greater. And if you read the first couple chapters of the book of Hebrews, you begin to see that argument taking place. But what the most amazing thing about this transfiguration moment is that from there, when it's all over, they walk back down the mountain, they go do ministry. And the primary ministry that Jesus does is he walks towards Calvary. Is that although he shines in such majesty and glory, and although he establishes his greatness amongst Jewish history and world history, he still walks down that mountain towards Calvary. And so what does this mean? What's the transfiguration mean for you and I? It means because Jesus walked towards Calvary, one day you and I are going to see him shine, not for a moment, but for all eternity in all of his glory. And that we'll see and experience his greatness and the fact that he invited you and I into a relationship with him. That those moments for the disciples, though, were temporary, right now in this moment, they are experiencing forever and in the fullness of its greatness. And that is what you and I will eventually see as well. And I hope you were encouraged by that here this morning, and you take that with you as you leave today.